thank you all for coming to our spring recital. Tomorrow is meteorological summer, so here's our last day of spring, just in time for our spring recital. And summer starts tomorrow, so thank you for being here on this day, the rainy day, which is actually nice to get some rain. This recital is going to probably last a little closer to an hour because we have a lot of older students here today, and their songs are a little bit longer, but they're wonderful, so you've got a lot to look forward to. Just some basic things. The bathroom is out there in that hallway, but if you don't mind going out the back door and around during applause if you need to leave, or if you have little ones here who get restless, you can go straight out the back and wait and listen from the back. You can do that if they get restless, and then they can move around. And then, as you know, no videos or photos during the recital. We've got Anderson up there recording it for us. It'll go on YouTube, and he always does a great job. Yes, thank you, Anderson. So you can look forward to that. And once again, we have an amazing variety of music today. Every single recital, we get such an interesting variety, and the students pick their own songs. So we have in our classical composers category, these are just some of the songs I'm going to mention. Yay, hello. Come on in, so glad to see you. So we have Beethoven from Austria, Brahms from Germany, Jeremiah Clark from England, Borodin from Russia, and Rameau from France. So what a great representation of classical composers. We have folk music, which means we don't know who composed it, but it's just a song that stayed in a culture for a long period of time, and a lot of people know it. And we have folk music from Japan, traditional Gaelic music, Morning Has Broken, Cat Stevens, African American spiritual, and a Spanish style piece. We have pop songs, You Raise Me Up, that Josh Groban made famous, The Winner Takes It All by ABBA, and Piano Man by Billy Joel. And then we have several jazz pieces in here as well. We have 2 ragtime pieces by the most famous ragtime composer, Scott Joplin. And then we're going to end with Summertime, which is from an opera called Porgy and Bess that George Gershwin wrote with a lot of jazz music in an opera. So that is really cool. And the final piece is Jumpin' with Mr. Jordan by a modern jazz writer, Baumgartner is his name. And I just want to say, don't blink or you'll miss it. It's a really fast piece, and it's just a lot of fun. So we will get started with the roll call. I just want to make sure everybody's here. I'm pretty sure you are. So just say yes if we're here when I call your name. Sydney, Charlotte Payne, Quillen, James, Liv, Charlotte Holland, Everson, Emmeline, Everett, Juniper, Darcy, Ella, did we say Ella? No, said Sydney before. Ella? Here. And Nora? Here. Okay, we've got everybody here. Is anybody expecting any more guests, grandparents or friends or anything, that we should keep the greeters at the door because the door is automatically locked? So if we're not expecting anything else, you are expecting, okay, greeters, did you hear that? We're expecting another guest. So if you could keep an eye out, that would be great. Yeah, good. No, that's okay. That's okay. If you want to open the doors so you can listen better, you can do that. Yeah. For the greeters, they love these recitals too. They love listening to everybody. So finding a way to have them do that is fun. All right. So I think we are ready to get started. Sydney Komanecki is going to get us started with Sonata Pathétique by Beethoven, and You Raise Me Up. Sydney, and now we have Charlotte Payne with Humoresque, which means a whimsical song. Thank you, Charlotte. Now Quillen is up next with I've Got Music and Dino Dance. He's got fans out there. And next we have James. Thank you, Quillen. Next we have James Seddon with Sakura, which means cherry blossoms, a Japanese folk song, and the winner takes it all, ABBA. James. Now we have Liv Treader, and we're going to do some duets together. Thank you, Liv. Now we have Charlotte Holland with Chanson of Song in French, means song in French, and Ceremony for Peace. Thank you, Charlotte. Now we have Everson Lebo doing duets with his dad, The Juggler, Brahms' Lullaby, and March of the English Guard. Next we have Emmeline Lebo. She's got a couple of solos, and then she's going to do a duet with her dad. Robert Fortin, who's a pretty new student of mine. He did a little bit of study on his own on piano online and then decided it might be nice to have a human teacher too. So he had a bit of a head start. He's taught himself a lot already, but he's just doing great. I have had him for about 3 months now. So let's hear a piece by Borodin and then Ragtime, Entertainer by Scott Joplin. Juniper, who is doing Legend of Madrid, The Fly. Be ready for that. I find this song incredibly creepy. See if you feel the same way. It just feels like a fly that's buzzing around, driving you crazy. And then Piano Man, a favorite by Billy Joel. Darcy Sudden coming up. She's going to play I've Got Peace Like a River. It's a spiritual. And then we will do a couple of duets together, Horse-Drawn Carriage and Day at the Carnival. Wanted to say one thing about the spiritual, the African American spiritual. Who knows where that came from? Some of us have talked about that. Yeah, James.
Like Africa?
Well, actually, it's here in the United States. The slaves, when they were on the plantations, the Africans who were on the plantations would sing to help live with these horrible circumstances they were being forced to work in. And the interesting thing, they've been doing a lot of research lately. The words to the songs could mean, like crossing over Jordan could mean going to heaven, or a campground meeting could be worship, or catching a chariot could be a wagon. There's double meanings to everything. So if they were going to escape maybe across a river, they might be singing about the River Jordan. Or if they're going to escape by a wagon, they might be singing about a carriage. So it had a double meaning, so that the masters they thought they were singing only spiritual things, but they were actually giving kind of instructions to people on how to escape sometimes. So it's very interesting. I've been learning a lot about that lately myself, and I just know that a lot of my students have not been introduced to spirituals yet, and they're wonderful songs. I encourage you to go on YouTube and listen to them sometimes, once in a while. They're wonderful. Some are very slow and thoughtful, and some are just super peppy and fun and catchy. So they're wonderful songs, and I hope they keep going on for many more centuries. And one more thing about the spirituals, they were comforting songs to the African American slaves, but they can also be comforting songs to us today as well. Ella is here to play for us, La Tambourine, from France, opera ballet style music, and then a ragtime piece, another piece by Scott Joplin called Cascades. Ella has been with me since she was about 5 years old, and she's going to be a senior next year in high school. And it's really wild when you start with someone when they're 5, and then you're starting to pick recital music, and you go, I'm glad you're playing that and not me, because that one is a handful, really. Nice job, Ella. And then we have Nora Robertson coming up for our final songs. Summertime from the opera Porgy and Bess. This piece, I think, I Googled it one time, and it's one of the most performed pieces in the world. It's just performed everywhere. Perfect timing, right, with summer starting tomorrow. And then her second piece, again, remember, don't blink because it goes really fast, and it's fabulous. It's called Jumpin' with Mr. Jordan. I wanted to mention that Summertime from the opera Porgy and Bess. It was one of the first operas that had the main majority of the cast is African American, so it's really a cool opera. Okay, I just want to thank a couple of families. I've never told this story yet about recitals, but how I got started doing them. When I started teaching piano, when I moved here from the East Coast, I'm from the Midwest, moved to the East Coast, came back, lived in the Middle East for a while too. But anyway, coming back here, I ended up caretaking for my mom quite a bit. And when I started teaching piano, it was a neighbor and then some more neighbors, and I don't have a website or I don't advertise, it's always word of mouth, and thank you for all. Look at all these wonderful students I keep getting referred. It's fabulous. But I wasn't doing recitals because I had to spend so much time taking care of my mom, and then I had my church job too, so there's just no way I could do it. But then a couple of families, there's one of them, Hollands, right there. Raise your hand so everybody can see you. Brian told Kim, doesn't a piano teacher usually do recitals? And so that was like positive guilt for me. Like, I'm not doing this, and I should really be doing it. It's positive guilt. I really appreciated it. And then you said in family, you know I'm talking to you. They started talking with me about it too, and wonderfully hosted. So I could experiment small style first in their home, a little recital with just some neighborhood people, and it was like immediately satisfying to me and exciting and wonderful, and I could tell how much all the kids enjoyed it and the parents and everyone. So thank you, Hollands, and thank you, Seddons, for inspiring me to start doing recitals, because I love it now. Thank you. I just wonder why I didn't start doing it earlier, that's all. So finally, the last things I wanted to say are, I'd like to know your summer plans for lessons. I know summers get crazy with a lot of overnight camps and travel and everything, but just let me know and try to fit them in as much as you can. If there are certain weeks that they're less busy, maybe do longer lessons or a couple of lessons if we can. Also, summer is a great time to come check out the organ if anybody's interested in doing that, because it's a fabulous instrument and a lot of fun to experiment with. So I'd be happy to do a lesson here too. It can be any time. It doesn't have to be at your regular lesson time. Then November, we will have recitals before Thanksgiving, probably the 2 weekends before Thanksgiving. And I already have 2 youngsters, a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, who played at the May 3rd recital. They've already told me one of their songs that they each want to work on for the November. They're already practicing their November recitals. Oh, do you have one too? What? So anyway, recitals are fun. Kids get motivated by recitals, and really such hard work. When I come here and listen, hard work for them. I sit here and listen, and I think about all the parts that we had to spend a lot of extra time on, and they just did so well today, every single one of them. So let's give them another round of applause. So have a wonderful summer, and I will see you at the piano. Keep practicing.